Hi, this is Cheryl with Hirsch Parent Coaching. In developing this video today, I was thinking I was going to put more content into it than I'm going to because I think it's such good stuff that I want to divide it up. A while ago, I was listening to the podcast Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard. And they look like they're really long, but a lot of it's fluff at the end. But he has some really, really good ones. And a while ago, he interviewed Susan David, who wrote the book Emotional Agility. I had not heard of her until this podcast. And I actually marked it because I wanted to go back and listen to it. It was on my to-do list over these couple of weeks because I wanted to take notes. So I went back to listen to it just yesterday and today, and you can see this is how I take notes. Isn't that horrible? I'm walking around the house, I'm listening, and I'm taking scrap pieces of paper and writing down the stuff that is just so good. So I talk a lot about values with my clients, and I keep thinking about how to incorporate more and more. And I do have this practice of really determining your values and narrowing them down to about 2 or 3. And I did it myself, and I thought I got this exercise through someone else. I gave her credit on the little worksheet that I have, but I was really surprised at the values that came up for me. And I'll tell you, so they were wonder and joy. And they, for now at least, encompass the most important values for me because I love learning and all sorts of things. So anyway, I won't go into that now. So mine are wonder and joy. And I listened to another podcast where Brene Brown was also interviewing Jim Collins, and they started talking about their values that they live by, and they each have 2. But Jim Collins brought up this idea of shadow values. Like if somebody from outer space were to come observe us, what would they notice about our behavior, and what would inform us about maybe a value that we have not identified, which I thought was fascinating. So to go back now to Susan David, she was talking about values, and again, she ties them into emotions, which I will get to, I think in the next podcast. I might do a part 2 in just a minute. But she talked about how when we determine our values, they help us think about our actions. So for example, when let's say we're interacting with our children, do our behaviors, our actions, are they in alignment with our values? Do they bring us closer to what is important to us? Or are our actions actually taking us away? And I think we probably all have examples, or we have not lived within our values. And then she said I want to get the term correctly, she calls it a choice point. So we're in a situation with our child, we can be with a partner, a friend, and to take that pause and think, what I'm about to do, is it bringing me closer to my values, or is it taking me away? So I think that is something really important to consider. And I think we all try so hard to be good human beings, but to clearly identify what our values are and to live in alignment with them. And there's one other piece that she talked about, that values sometimes seem so kind of abstract to us that maybe we need to ask ourselves, did we do something worthwhile today? So I'll leave you with that thought. The new year is just beginning, and let's think, were our actions worthwhile? Take care.